Hello, happy Easter. If you celebrate, how you guys doing, man? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing a timeless reading today. Yeah, if you want to book a personal, everything's in the description. I'll never contact you in any way, shape, or form. Only way to book a reading is to DM me on Instagram or send me an email. I'd like to give thanks to all of y'all for supporting me in the way you do. I really love you and appreciate you. Let's see, I took a look at the planetary transits for today, and the thing that was sticking out to me is the moon has moved into Sagittarius. And Saturn is in Pisces, and we have a square between the moon and Saturn. If I understand that correctly, if you're feeling like if you're feeling a lot of pressure in your emotions, right? The moon rules the emotions, the unseen, the shadow aspects of yourself. As Sagittarius is a very free-spirited type of energy. If you're feeling like your emotions are going kind of running wild, a little unrestrained, you're feeling a lot of pressure in that space, a really good way to temper that is to essentially offload it onto Saturn. Saturn being in Pisces also having to do with like emotional structure. So what ways can you compartmentalize what you're going through and essentially find a way to structure that within yourself to balance out those emotions, right? I'm only going to do like one transit. Let me know if you guys do like the whole astrology thing. I just kind of wanted to implement it because I just find it kind of fun. But either way, man, we're going to be starting out with the Mystical Cat Tarot. And we're just going to tap in and see what comes out. Give thanks to my guides, angels, and ancestors for any messages that want to come out today. If you want to see the extendeds for Patreon, that is in the description. If you want to listen to my music, that is also in the description. Alright. Got a little bit of a stack. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups reverse. We have, I'm just going to take them in pieces. So first little half stack, we have King of Swords reverse, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the Magician reverse, Nine of Pentacles reversed, and the Queen of Cups reversed. So yesterday we had the King and Queen upright. Today we have them both in reverse. This to me, I'm feeling like just huge codependent energy here. I feel like it's a warning to watch out for codependency, right? To really focus on your own emotional independence. Maybe relying too much on another person for emotional satisfaction is also what I'm feeling. Because it looks like if that's not the case, there is some sort of new love coming in. And it just seems like there may be people around you that aren't necessarily happy about that. I don't know if this is friends, if this is family, if this is exes, people that you don't even really talk to anymore. The King of Swords reverse, this could be somebody that you're not even in communication with, feeling a way about you manifesting this new... It's like there's people that just don't want to see you manifest the beautiful things that you're manifesting. And it's not even affecting your manifestations as a whole, it's just... That's just what it looks like to me. It looks like there's some people that are kind of feeling a way about whatever it is you are manifesting, and this does feel like new love to me with the Ace of Cups. But I feel like it's because there's people who, it's not that they don't want to see you do well, but they're codependent on your energy, right? And that's kind of, this is why I always find it funny to see how the transit I choose ties into the reading, because since the moon is squaring Saturn today, Sagittarius and Pisces squaring each other, that's exactly, it's like the balance between being free-spirited and living your truth, and like really letting all aspects of yourself live, being tempered with people who want to try to control that. And so I feel like there's this kind of balance right now where you're trying to figure out how you can do what you need to do for yourself while also making the people around you happy, because it doesn't feel like these people hate you or anything. It just feels like there may be a little bit hurt because you're giving your time to other areas of your life and maybe not so much to them. This could be a friend group, family. I don't know, man. We have the Nine of Swords reverse. We have the Moon reverse. We have the Ace of Wands reverse. We have the Hermit. We have Good Kitty reverse, which is Justice. This is the Five of Swords reverse and the Wheel of Fortune reverse. So we got a lot of these cards in the short video, but they're all switched. So everything that was reversed is now in the upright, and everything that was upright is now reversed. There's only like a few of these cards that came out. But I feel like right now is a really good time for you to go within and really take a deep look at the people that you're keeping around you. This is energy where it's like everybody can't go with you where you're going, especially as you're ascending, you're healing, you're building your life in so many different ways. And I think there's people around you that are just afraid that you won't be in their life. If that's not the case, this could be you essentially with a partner, and there's some kind of conflict here because one or the other person is choosing to either go within and stay a little reserved, and I don't feel like it has anything to do with you. I feel like this has a lot to do with the fact that somebody here is really just dealing with a lot of conflict, and I feel like this is also a situation I'm picking up on where there's two people that have hurt each other. The desire to continue the relationship is there, and there's a desire to bring balance into the situation, but this feels like this is a very divinely guided interaction between you and this person. This feels like something where, again, I feel like this is two people that are healing from the past. That's all. Okay, that could be what it is too, what I'm seeing here. This is two people who have been through a lot already. But that's not stopping these people from giving love another try. There may be some defensiveness, but it just feels like two people coming together despite what everybody else thinks or says. That's exactly what I'm feeling here. I feel like that's why this is a 5 of Swords. It's not a 7 of Swords. So you know what I mean? This, if you look at the card here, I mean, these are like, you see this cat being, not attacked, but being, there's a lot of people around this cat being aggressive, and it doesn't look like he's doing anything but just chilling, right? And he looks very sad. And that's kind of the energy that I'm picking up on for this whole reading. It's like you want the people around you to be happy for you. You want the people around you to celebrate you. And whether or not they actually do has a lot to do with their own internal state, has a lot to do with their own insecurities, right? I'd like to clarify this a little bit, please. Let's clarify this 5 of Swords. What is this whole thing going on here? We have Sky Kitten, which is a Knight of Swords. We have the Tower, but it fell out in reverse, so I feel like somebody is resisting letting go of something. But then we got the 10 of Cups. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have Seaton reverse, which I believe is the Page of Cups reverse. 2 of Swords reverse. 2 of Wands reverse. This to me just feels like you're choosing not to invest in a particular, it's like you have an option but the decision's already made. I feel like you have a choice between a Queen of Pentacles, doesn't have to be gender specific, or a Page of Cups reverse. And I feel like this is somebody from your past that's watching you move into this new space. I don't even feel like this is somebody that you talk to anymore. I feel like this is somebody just like way back from in the day, or even just, it doesn't have to be like that long ago, but it just feels like somebody that, it's like they regret the fact that things ended the way they did, but I don't feel like it could have really happened any other way. And it feels like somebody's having a hard time accepting that. Right, but that's not your job to help people accept what has ended. If especially if they were the one to end things, they have to accept their part in the situation, and it doesn't feel like this person is willing to. So I'm also picking up on another story here where with the Ace of Cups, 10 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, this is somebody that I feel like wants to come forward and try to work this out. We pick up on this energy a lot too, where there's tends to be somebody that comes up every few readings that wants to come forward and work things out, and then the energy dissipates, and then we go on to like all these different kinds of things, right? But this time it's coming back around, and I feel like this again is somebody that you had history with, who wants to work things out but only because they see you doing better is what it feels like. It's not because they actually have taken accountability for themselves or what they've done or what they've said or how they have impacted you. This is somebody who's more focused on getting what they want, regardless of how they get it. This is a very manipulative energy, right? Let's get off of that. I'd like to pull from another deck. I want to get some advice on how you can manage this energy. Just some general advice, because it seems like if you are dealing with this and this is somebody who's coming back around to being manipulative, I'd like to give you any information I can to help you maneuver that in a healthy way, right? Let's go ahead and use the Sorcerer's Tarot. Okay, so Strength reversed. I haven't put this upright, so I'm guessing this is probably just going to continue to come out in reverse until I do, because everything else is in the upright in this deck. We have the Page of Cups, we have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords in the upright this time, but I don't really take reversals in this deck, so I can still see it as the same thing. And we have the Page of Cups again, but the only difference here is we have Strength reversed and the Knight of Wands, and then we got the Seven of Swords, bottom of the deck here. Three of Wands and the Magician, right? So, you know, it really just is the same kind of energy. It's like the same message almost, where I feel like somebody who has really done you dirty, somebody who they just didn't treat you very well. It seems like they are having remorse. I don't know. It seems like they're just like, you know what it feels like too. It's like with this energy here, the Magician, Three of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. It's like somebody feels slighted by you because you're not investing in them anymore, or because you turn your back on the connection, or even if you're not talking to this person because you've just pulled your energy back as a whole. Maybe you're not watching readings on them anymore. Maybe you're not really checking up on them on social media. You're not liking their posts. However that comes across. This to me feels like somebody who feels slighted because you turned your back on them. And I don't feel like you turned your back on them because you don't love them or you don't care about them, but it's simply because you just have a lot going on, right? Page of Cups and Knight of Wands. Like, you're starting a lot of new stuff in your life. You're investing in new connections. You are pursuing new career opportunities. You're focusing on your own healing, right? And this is somebody who has a plan, and I feel like this is you. The King of Wands and the Moon, and then the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. I feel like you know exactly what you're doing, and you're keeping it to yourself because you know for a fact that there are people around you who don't have your best intentions in mind. And it's not to fearmonger, it's to say that it's like, if you know that's the case, then definitely take heed of these messages. If you have no clue that this is going on, or you have no inklings of an intuitive hit that this is happening, please disregard this message and do not force it, because it really may not be for you, because these are general readings. But I feel like as a whole, you're keeping your plans to yourself. King of Wands, the Moon, Page of Pentacles, and Ace of Pentacles. You know what you're doing, you know which direction you're going in, you know how to get there, and you have all the tools you need. But I feel like as an advice, because we pulled advice, it's just to keep it to yourself, right? Unless you have something fully fledged out and you're ready to release it, and maybe it's like a project, a book, an album, or just anything in general that you're, like a business that you're about to start, until it's fully fledged and planned out and already ready to drop, I would just keep it to yourself, right? Don't even, because you don't know people's intentions. People can always act like they're nice and they're this and they're that, but the best advice I can give with these cards is to just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great, and it looks like you're leveling up in all ways with the Magician, right? We have all these pages, all this night energy. We have the Three of Wands, all of this really beautiful stuff coming in. The Eight of Swords, bottom of the deck, Temperance, and the Emperor. And then we'll take the Four of Cups here too. Don't be afraid to say no to particular things and people, situations, jobs, I feel like that's kind of the energy you're in, and it's kind of saying no because you have so much to do. With the Emperor has a lot to manage, right? The Emperor also keeps a lot to themselves, and the Emperor doesn't always say yes to everything. The Emperor has choices, right? 7 of Cups, 5 of Swords, 2 of Cups. You have choices that you can make for yourself. Decisions. And I don't feel like this can have to do with multiple romantic options, but I feel like there's a lot of decisions that you have to make in every area of your life. And including too many people in that is going to complicate things. I feel like, you know, this whoever I'm picking up on here, you've gotten yourself to a place in life where you don't necessarily need the advice of another person. That's not to say that you're not open to accept help. I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like this is somebody who very much accepts the help of other people, but is also willing to give that same help back. It also just feels to me, it's like you're listening more than talking. I feel like you're moving into a space in your life where you're surrounded by people who are not necessarily doing more, but who may be more accomplished, who maybe have achieved things that you're trying to achieve that you haven't gotten to yet. And it's a need to really watch and observe and listen and be open to not necessarily criticism, but be open to like constructive criticism, especially when it's coming from people that are in this space, that are doing things that you want to be doing. Be open to listening to, not even, it's something where it's like just watching what everybody else is doing and still doing your own thing, but implementing things that you feel like are going to be beneficial for you, right? I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and leave it. We can go ahead and do one more pull, and then we're going to take this over to Patreon. Okay, we got King of Cups, 7 of Wands, and the High Priestess. We have 3 of Pentacles. You have the High Priestess, 7 of Wands, and the King of Cups. That's basically just keeping it to yourself. Like, it's like using your intuition, and it's one of those things where it's like, it's this energy where I feel like people are, it's like there's people that are in competition with you, but not because they're trying to outdo you, but because they want to be in your inner circle. I feel like there's people around you that can sense Wheel of Fortune, 3 of Pentacles. They can sense this coming in. They sense these new opportunities, these new contracts. They sense you leveling up. It's something where I feel like it's palpable. People can feel it, even if they don't say it or particularly let you know that they see it. And it's one of those things where I feel like this is a really important time for you to use your intuition. I've never actually been drawn to this before, but I never noticed there's a squirrel chilling down here. Squirrel energy is essentially very cautious, preparing for the future, right? Squirrels, they often will collect a bunch of like nuts and stuff for hibernation. I don't even know if they hibernate, but that's kind of the energy here, where it's like you're gathering your resources, you're collecting all of the ingredients you need, you have your recipe, and I feel like people want that recipe, even if they're not outright saying it. So it's this, as a final advice here, is just be very cautious of people that may come around you. They may try to offer you love in some kind of way, or trying to get you to invest in them for however they want you to invest in them. It's just to be cautious. It's not to say that everybody's out to get you. I don't think that's the case at all. I think it's just to recognize that like some people have their own ulterior motives, and if you're picking up on something and something feels off, I would just listen to that. Aside from any readings or anything like that, if your intuition is telling you something is off about a person, a job, or a situation, listen to that and think back to the times when you didn't listen to that and where that got you, right? I'm going to leave it there. We're going to take it to Patreon. If you want to book a personal, everything's in the description. I will never contact you in any way, shape, or form for a reading. The only way to book a reading with me is to DM me on Instagram or send me an email. If you want to subscribe to Patreon, that is also in the description. Or if you want to listen to my music, also in the description. I love you, man. Happy Easter if you do celebrate. If not, happy Sunday, even though this is timeless. I will see you on Patreon or in the next reading. Goodbye.